Hey guys, it's me Astrid, and this is going to be a real rough video that will hopefully teach you guys how to make basically this exact pattern that I'm using for my masks. So one thing you should know about this is that these masks require two little patterns. One is the felt pattern, which doesn't have this flap here, and one is the cotton pattern. So you'll need, for every mask, 4 of these and 2 of these. But the nice thing about this pattern is that once we have it made, you only need to just cut it out of 2 pieces of paper, and then for the felt you just cut off that little flap. So it's the same exact pattern both times. So what I've done here is I've tried to lay out this pattern box like I saw the other YouTuber do, so that we can make this mask. And what I've done is I've pre-marked this paper, so you can see that I'm working in a rectangle that is 16.2 centimeters by 21 centimeters on the side. I'm sorry that we've got into the decimal places on the centimeters, but you know, here we are. Now, what I've done is I've gone around and I've made marks all along the edges that are going to help us to trace lines between until we have the exact shape of the mask. So let's get started. The first lines we're going to do is that we're going to go on this left hand side and we're going to make a mark at 5.5 centimeters and 15 centimeters. This side flap is going to be 10 centimeters tall. And then you're going to go ahead and go in parallel. It's better if you have a better ruler than this, like a see-through ruler is going to be a lot better. But go in 90 degrees and you just draw another dot 4 centimeters in from each one of those. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and trace that out so you can see it's 4 centimeters. Okay. And again, 4 centimeters. Okay, and then the next dots we're going to make, I think we'll just talk about making them all at once. So you're going to go from this dot and you're going to go along the top and you're going to make a line at 12.5 centimeters. So right there, make 12.5 centimeters. And then along this right hand side, we're going to make a dot at 1.5 centimeters, 8.2 centimeters, and 15.2 centimeters. These are our 3 guidelines we're going to use for this side. Along the bottom, we're going to make a line at 11.2 centimeters, 12.2 centimeters, and 13.5 centimeters. And finally, we're making one more dot right along this side from 0 to 17.7 centimeters. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 dots. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect them. So the first bit that I'm going to do is I'm going to trace from this dot here to the 12.5 centimeters along the top. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trace from this dot here to the 1.5 centimeters on the right side. Okay, so we have the slope from here to here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to trace from the 12.5 centimeters to the 8.2 centimeters, so from the top to the right side. Okay, you can see this shaping up. Next we're going to trace from, let's see, I think this one, we're going to get this shape by going from, yeah, the 12.5 centimeters at the top to the 17.7 centimeters on the left hand side. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, go from top to side. All right, so it's starting to shape up. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from 8.2 centimeters, and we're going to take our ruler and measure down from 8.2 centimeters here to our 11.2 centimeters on the bottom. And you can see I've kind of put little hearts and shapes to show which line goes with which. So we're just gonna go. Okay, so that's got our nose shape. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from this 1.5 centimeters to the 13.5 centimeters. So I marked those both with a square. Okay. Then we're going to go from this 11 point, it's hard lining everything up, isn't it, guys? We're going to go from this 11.2 centimeters, and we're going to trace right back up to this line right here. So we've got a moon. I'm sorry, this is the 12.2 centimeters. So we're going 12.2 to the moon, moon to moon. And then the last one that we're going to do is we're going to go from the 11.2 centimeters to this 15.2 centimeters. So that's going to be, I'm so sorry, we're going from the 12.2 to 15.2. So we're just going from this very bottom line. We're going to connect this shape between here and here. Okay, so now what we have is a little bit of a mess, but we're going to highlight the shape and show you what we need to do from this point. I'm going to go ahead and connect this last little line vertical so we can see our felt pattern. Okay, so now you've got this mask shape that you want to get to, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to trace it out with a marker and the ruler so it's nice and clean. Okay, so you can see, here's our pattern. Here's my very beat up sad pattern that fits just inside that. The nose of mine got a little snipped and abused as I've been cutting stuff out, but this is the pattern that you're going to use. Now from here to here is the cotton, and from here to here is the felt. I've been experimenting with using elastic ear bands and with using soft blanket yarn ear bands. And I have to say that I like the blanket yarn. And as far as sizing goes, I've been using, let's see, 29.5 centimeters of elastic on each ear for men and 24 centimeters of elastic for women. I hope that doesn't get me a copyright violation. Anyway, You can do this, but I've found that using very thick, soft blanket yarn has made the ear bands a lot more comfortable, and elastic is not quite as comfortable. So I hope this video helps you guys. I hope this was clear enough that you can make a pattern. Just remember, we're making dots, we're connecting those dots, and if you pause this video and just follow along slowly, you can make the same thing, cut it out, and you can make masks just like the ones I have. Or come up with your own pattern, whatever makes you happy. Have a nice day, guys. Thanks. Bye.